So I'm getting started on my kitchen tree. This is going to be the first Christmas that I'm putting up this season. Today's November 6th, and I'm going ahead and getting started. I like to just work slow all throughout the month of November and get as much done as I can, but not try to stress too much about it. So I like to take different kinds of ribbon and just make little small bows to stuff in different holes in the tree, and I use these as fillers to make the tree look more full. So I just want to say, I've been collecting and decorating for about 20 years now, and all of my Christmas stuff is bought after Christmas. So everything is bought the day after Christmas, the week after Christmas, or the month after Christmas. So it's always at like a 50 or 75 or sometimes even a 90% off. And that's how I do all of my shopping. And I like to personalize stuff. Like these stockings, I found they're wooden. I found them at Hobby Lobby a few years ago after Christmas. And I got enough for our family of 5 and then our 3 dogs. And then I just went in with my Cricut and printed everybody's name so that everybody has a stocking, even the dogs. I always like to have a theme, and usually it's based on a color. So like here in my kitchen, I do my black and white and silver. I incorporate some silver into it. I went ahead and hung my wreaths here in the kitchen as well. And I will start to bring out more and more every day. So I usually do not use a traditional like angel or star topper on my trees. A lot of times I use bows. I have hats, just different kinds of things that I like to find to put on my tree toppers. This is my absolute favorite tree. It is my absolute favorite. This is my topper. It's my big snowman hat, and I love it so much. This is all of my Hallmark ornaments, Disney ornaments, ornaments from where we've traveled. There's ornaments that the kids have made. It's just my favorite tree. Every ornament is special. Every ornament has a story. Every ornament has a memory. So I like to go ahead and take all of my ornaments out of the boxes and get them all set out so I can then start putting them onto the tree. I like to go through them. There's a lot of memories there. My mom gets me a Hallmark ornament every year along with my husband, and she gets the kids one as well. I also like to get an ornament from all the different places that we travel. And I also, some of the ornaments that the kids have made throughout the year also go on this tree. My sister, throughout the year, have gotten me ornaments. So I like to put the ones that she has given me on this tree as well. And I use a snowman's hat on the top as my topper. This is my favorite tree. My mom, one of the Hallmark ornaments that she gets me every year is always a picture frame ornament for family. And so I can put a picture of the kids or the entire family from that year in that picture frame. And I really like that. Of course, there's lots of Disney ornaments. I love all the different Disney ornaments. We've gotten ornaments from like Biltmore Estates, Vegas, just a bunch of different places that we've been. And I like to go ahead and put a tree into each of the kids' rooms. They have their ornaments that they've collected throughout the years, and their trees are small, but they are full. And my mom always gets them ornaments. I always get them ornaments, and then family members get them ornaments as well. And so their trees reflect that. My daughter, she is a big fan of Stitch, so she has a lot of Stitch on her tree. And my youngest son, he actually has a Nightmare Before Christmas tree in his room that is small, and it actually stays up in his room year round. That's one of his favorite movies. So that stays up year round, and then I just add the other tree into his room with his other ornaments on it. So, a tradition that I started when my kids were younger was every year, depending on what the kids were for Halloween, what I would do is that is the Christmas ornament that I would get them every year. So, like for example, if our daughter was a unicorn, I got her a unicorn ornament. If our son was Iron Man, I got him an Iron Man ornament. And so throughout the years, they've collected quite a bit of ornaments that are based on what they were that year for Halloween. And I just think it's a fun way to remember two holidays in one. The Mickey Mouse hat that goes on one of my son's trees up at the top, that was from his first Disney trip. And I just thought it was a fun way to save that. It doesn't fit him any longer, so he can't really wear it, but it's a good way to save it and incorporate it and save that memory. I've included some of the pictures to show you, like from their Halloween and then the ornament I would get them. These are just a few examples. So, in my husband and I's bedroom, I went ahead and put up a smaller 6 foot tree, and I did a silver and white theme in there. The bulbs I got from Hobby Lobby, and actually, I don't know if you can tell or not, but a lot of the bulbs are actually connected. They're a garland, and I just wrapped them around the tree. I used the Kohler LED lights on this tree, and they are very bright. Now, what I like to do is go ahead and put my dishes. I switch all my dishes out for Christmas, including my Christmas mugs, and I like to get my tumblers out and switch all them out for Christmas. I've updated my coffee area here in the kitchen. I like to freshen it up for Christmas. My Christmas utensils. I made these little treats, and I do have a video on the channel on that. The wreath on the door is 2 wreaths I put together and made a snowman wreath a few years ago. I always like to bring out my Southern Living Christmas cookbooks. My little setup on the table, my little Mickey and Minnie salt and pepper shakers. I put a little bit of decorations into my china cabinet. I always like to set up my little Susan Branch cookbook, turn it to a fun page. Got my cookie jars on top of the refrigerator. So in the living room when I started, what I did was I took my wreath, tied some Grinch ribbons on there, and went ahead and tied my ribbon onto the windows. Now I've started setting up my tree. I got this flocked tree at Hobby Lobby after Christmas a few years ago. I absolutely love it. I got these ornaments at Hobby Lobby, and I like to take pipe cleaners and put 3 or 4 of the Christmas balls all on there together, and then tie them with the pipe cleaner onto the branches. It just makes it a lot fuller, and I just really like the look that it gives to the tree. I like to lay all of my Christmas ornaments out on the floor so I can kind of see what I'm working with and then just keep grabbing. I like to go ahead and once I get my tree up, go ahead and put my Christmas garland on my mantle. I go ahead and put the garland up, and I like to get it fluffed out, which takes a little bit of time. I use command hooks to secure my garland and also to secure my stockings. So I like to go ahead and get those fluffed out, and then I like to get my stockings hung. Depending on which command hooks you use will determine whether it will actually be safe to stuff your stockings while they are still hanging on the command hooks. I go ahead and put my lights on, and then I move on to my tree. I like to wait till after I get my tree decorated before I do my mantle, because I might want to use some of my tree decorations on my mantle. So I go ahead and I've got some Christmas presents that I like to secure to the tree with pipe cleaners. And I also have 2 different Dr. Seuss books that I like to secure to the tree as well. And then I just start putting my ornaments on. I made these bulbs a few years ago. They're green, red, and white, and I just used clear bulbs from the Dollar Tree with polyacrylic and glitter. So when I'm done with the tree, I then go in and I've got several garlands, a pom-pom garland and a bulb garland that I got from Hobby Lobby that I used, along with some ribbon that I got at a local craft store, made my bows. I got the Grinch signs and pictures last year at Hobby Lobby. Last year after Christmas, went to Hobby Lobby and just cleared out their Grinch stuff. It was up to like 75% off, and I got pillows and ornaments and pictures. I got a Grinch tree skirt. I got the stockings. The stockings aren't necessarily Grinch, but they have the Grinch colors, and I thought that they went really well. The green garland I actually got from a local hobby shop, and I got it at 75% off. But I think it all comes together quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is I have gotten this laundry basket from Dollar Tree for $1. And I'm going to use it for an under the tree skirt. Now, this is not my idea. You've probably seen this all over TikTok and other places. The only difference is I have a bunch of tree skirts already, and I love my tree skirts. I have really pretty ones that I've collected over the years, and I don't want to glue them to the basket. I don't want to cut them in any way. So what I do is I cut the basket to fit underneath the tree, so I can just tie this under the tree, and it gives it just a little bit of lift, keeps the tree skirt to where it's not on the ground quite as much, and just covers a lot of the tree base. So the first thing I want to do is just cut all the way around here to cut off this base, and then I'll cut up here. Okay, so what I'll go do is I will go put this under the tree and slide it onto the base around it. And then I will come in with my tree skirt and I will tie it . Okay, so now it gives it some height to my tree skirt, and